Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to our live video update here at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time in regards to Tropical Storm Karen, which is slowly making her way towards the northern Gulf Coast. The latest update from the National Hurricane Center was recently released, and there are a few changes. Most important, the Hurricane Watch along the northern Gulf Coast has been replaced with Tropical Storm Watches from the mouth of the Pearl River in Mississippi all the way over to Indian Pass, Florida. And then we have Tropical Storm Warnings in effect from the mouth of the Pearl River all the way over to Morgan City, Louisiana. Maximum sustained winds are at 50 miles per hour. The storm is slowing down this afternoon, now moving north-northwest at 7 miles per hour, and a decrease in forward speed even further is expected. And recent satellite data is showing that the storm may already be slowing down a lot more than what the latest advisory shows. And the pressures are about 1,003 millibars. During the next day or so, we do expect Karen to turn more towards the northeast and aim basically for the Florida Panhandle. And landfall right now is forecasted by the National Hurricane Center as a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm near Pensacola, sometime Sunday afternoon. And there are some reliable computer models that are forecasting landfall even further towards the east, possibly near Panama City or even Apalachicola. Is still not out of the question, and that's why the Hurricane Center has tropical storm watches all the way this far east of the storm. Most of the active weather, heavy rain and wind, is going to be located on the eastern side of the system. So for you folks in New Orleans, I don't anticipate any tropical storm warnings, and for that matter, really not much rainfall, an inch at best. But it's going to have to start developing precipitation around the western side of the center in order to get some moisture and precipitation up here across southeastern Louisiana. I think the worst southeastern Louisiana may see would be some wind gusts up to 40-50 miles per hour during the day, Saturday evening and Sunday morning as the storm is crossing the Louisiana Delta there. But I think for you folks watching in New Orleans, even in Gulfport and Biloxi, I think at this point your impacts from Tropical Storm Karen are going to be fairly minimal, especially if the storm ends up going further east, closer towards Panama City. Again, effects across the northern Gulf Coast are going to be less the further west you are, and the further east you are, the more likely you'll encounter the heavy rainfall on the order of 4 to 8 inches and possible winds up to tropical storm force. Here's the latest look at the visible satellite loop for Tropical Storm Karen. The circulation center is still exposed with all of the heavy, deep thunderstorms located east of the circulation. It's just could kind of drift around and slowly move to the north, and then at some point it's going to move off towards the northeast in response to an upper level trough, which is causing this massive winter storm out here across the Dakotas, where 1 to 2 feet of snow are forecasted to fall. And that's quite incredible considering it's still early October. But the associated trough of low pressure is already moving into West Texas. That will continue to move towards the east, and the winds out of the upper levels will turn more from west to east, and that is what's going to pick up the system and push it north-northeast towards Florida. Here's a look at the latest reliable computer models. Just about all of the models, including the Euro, the GFS, the UK Met model, and the HWRF model, they're all showing a turn here to the northeast, south of Louisiana, and most of them have landfall occurring in Pensacola or just to the east of there. And again, I don't think the system would get as far south the Florida Peninsula as the HWRF model is showing, but it could make it all the way towards Apalachicola there on the Big Bend portions of Florida. But right now, the official forecast is for landfall near Pensacola or maybe just to the east of there. And on that current track, tropical storm force winds of 39 to 57 miles per hour are likely here in the orange shaded areas. Again, just the very extreme portions of southeastern Louisiana. Again, tropical storm winds should not encroach on the New Orleans area. Extreme southeastern Mississippi near Pascagoula, Mobile Bay, Mobile, Alabama, and then of course all of western Florida is likely to see winds of tropical storm force on Sunday evening as the storm is making landfall. The heaviest winds over 58 miles per hour, should remain offshore. And the system is going to have another 36 to 48 hours over open water, but the good news is upper level conditions are expected to remain very unfavorable, and any intensification would only be minimal. I think 65 miles per hour would be the strongest this storm could get. There's a lot of dry air and upper level wind shear is continuing, and we just don't see how this storm has any chance really of strengthening into a hurricane. And that's all we have for this update. Of course, we will be here with many more video and audio updates until the storm makes landfall. We will have another video update sometime this evening. Check in the app in our feeds and on our Twitter feed, and we'll let you know what time the next video update will be. Thank you so much for watching. If you're using the Hurricane Tracker app, we hope we're doing a great job for you. Leave us a review on iTunes and let us know how we're doing. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great Friday evening.